Imagine you're in a room full of people chasing success. Some work hard, stay honest, and follow their values. They believe in fairness and doing the right thing. Others lie, cheat, and step on anyone to get ahead. They don't care about who. They hurt as long as they win. Surprisingly, it's often the ruthless ones who climb the highest. They seem to get all the rewards: money, power, and fame. Meanwhile, the good people who play fair are left behind, struggling to make progress. Why does this happen? Why does it seem like the world rewards the worst among us? It's a question that makes us uncomfortable. We want to believe that good people win in the end. But reality often shows us something different. The ruthless succeed because they're willing to do whatever it takes. They don't let guilt or fear stop them. They take risks, break rules, and push others out of their way. This doesn't mean that being ruthless is the right way to live. It just means that in a competitive world, those who are willing to be selfish often have an advantage. They don't wait for permission or approval. They act quickly and decisively. They focus on their goals and ignore the consequences for others. But there's a catch. While the ruthless may succeed in the short term, their success often doesn't last. They may climb to the top, but they can also fall just as quickly. Their power is built on shaky ground, lies, manipulation, and fear. Eventually, people see through their actions, and their empire crumbles. So, what does this mean for the rest of us? Should we give up on our values and become ruthless to succeed? Not necessarily. The key is to understand how the world works, without losing sight of who we are. We can learn from the ruthless without becoming like them. We can be strong, ambitious, and determined while still staying true to our principles. Success doesn't have to come at the cost of our integrity. We can find a balance, being kind but not weak, ambitious but not selfish, and strong but not cruel. The world may reward the ruthless, but it also respects those who rise with honor and dignity. Throughout history, we've seen the same pattern repeat itself. In politics, business, and even personal relationships, those who are selfish and cruel often rise to power. They take what they want no matter who gets hurt. They lie, cheat, and manipulate to get ahead. And in many cases, they succeed. Think about ancient rulers who conquered lands through violence and fear, or modern CEOs who cut corners, exploit workers, and prioritize profits over people. These individuals didn't get to the top by being nice. They got there by being ruthless. This isn't just a coincidence, it's tied to human nature and how society works. In a world where resources are limited, competition is fierce. There's only so much money, power, and success to go around. Those who are willing to do whatever it takes often come out on top. But why does this happen? Why do the worst people often succeed? One reason is that they're not held back by guilt or fear. They don't worry about what others think or whether their actions are fair. They focus on their goals and do whatever it takes to achieve them. Another reason is that society often rewards boldness and confidence. People are drawn to those who seem strong and decisive, even if their actions are questionable. The ruthless know how to play this game. They project an image of power and control, and others follow them even if it's out of fear. But there's a downside to this kind of power. While the ruthless may succeed in the short term, their success is often unstable. They may climb to the top, but they can also fall just as quickly. Their power is built on lies, manipulation, and fear. Eventually, people see through their actions, and their empire crumbles. History is filled with examples of ruthless leaders who fell from grace. They may have achieved great things, but their legacy is often tainted by their actions. They're remembered not for their success, but for the harm they caused along the way. So, what does this mean for us? Should we give up on our values and become ruthless to succeed? Not necessarily. The key is to understand how the world works without losing sight of who we are. We can learn from the ruthless without becoming like them. We can be strong, ambitious, and determined while still staying true to our principles. Power isn't inherently evil. It's a tool that can be used for good or bad. The challenge is to use it wisely, to build something meaningful without sacrificing our integrity. We can succeed without stepping on others. we can rise to the top without losing ourselves in the process. The world may reward the ruthless, but it also respects those who rise with honor and dignity. True power isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering ourselves. It's about being strong enough to achieve our goals while staying true to our values. That's the kind of power that lasts. Life is not always fair. In a world full of competition, fairness doesn't always lead to success. We often hear that good things come to those who wait, but in reality, waiting can mean losing. Those who hesitate or wait for justice often fall behind. Meanwhile, the bold and ruthless take risks, make quick decisions, and rise to the top. This brings up a difficult question. Is being good and moral a weakness when it comes to gaining power? Look around, and you will see that the people who reach the highest positions are not always the kindest or most honest. Many of them are ambitious and willing to do whatever it takes to get ahead. They break rules, bend the truth, and push others aside without guilt. They are not afraid to be disliked or to make enemies. They focus on winning and getting what they want no matter the cost. This brutal approach often works because the world rewards results, not intentions. On the other hand, those who stick to fairness and kindness may struggle. They follow the rules, treat people with respect, and wait patiently for their hard work to be recognized. But the world doesn't always reward good behavior. In fact, it often takes advantage of it. The honest worker might get overlooked for a promotion, while the clever manipulator climbs the ladder. The kind-hearted person may be seen as weak, while the ruthless one is respected for their strength. This harsh reality is hard to accept, especially for those who believe in justice and goodness. It feels unfair to see bad people succeed while good people suffer. But history is full of examples that prove this point. Ruthless leaders conquer nations, cunning businessmen build empires, and ambitious politicians gain power. They don't wait for permission or play by the rules. They take what they want. Does this mean that being moral is a weakness? Not necessarily. It depends on how you define success and power. If power means having control and wealth, then ruthlessness can be an advantage. But if success means living a meaningful life with respect and peace of mind, then morality is a strength. The problem is that the world often measures success by power, money, and status. Many people feel trapped by this harsh reality. They want to stay true to their values but fear being left behind. They don't want to be ruthless, but they also don't want to be powerless. This creates an inner conflict, a feeling of being torn between right and wrong, strength and weakness. It's not easy to find a balance. One way to deal with this conflict is to understand that morality and power are not always enemies. It is possible to be both strong and good, decisive and fair, but it requires courage, wisdom, and strategic thinking. It means standing up for yourself without stepping on others. It means being bold but not cruel, ambitious but not selfish. It's a harder path, but it's not impossible. The truth is, the world is not fair, and it never will be. Waiting for justice is like waiting for rain in a desert. If you want to succeed, you must act. You must be bold and take risks, even if it means facing criticism or failure. But you don't have to lose your humanity in the process. You can be strong without being ruthless. You can be smart without being manipulative. You can rise to the top without losing your soul. Friedrich Nietzsche, a famous German philosopher, looked at morality in a different way. He believed that not all morals are the same. In his view, there are two types of morality: master morality and slave morality. These two ways of thinking shape how people live and how they see power, success, and happiness. Master morality is the way of the strong, the bold, and the ambitious. It's about creating your own rules and living by them. People with master morality don't follow others. They lead. They decide what is good and bad based on their own values and desires. They are not afraid to take risks, break traditions, or challenge authority. They see life as a game to be won, and they play it on their own terms. They admire strength, courage, and independence. They don't feel guilty about winning or taking what they want because they believe they deserve it. For Nietzsche, master morality is the path to power and greatness. It's about embracing life fully, with all its struggles and challenges. It's about being fearless and ambitious, never settling for less than you can achieve. Nietzsche admired historical figures like Julius Caesar and Napoleon Bonaparte because they made their own destiny. They were not victims of fate or society's rules. They were creators of their own world. On the other hand, slave morality is the way of the humble, the obedient, and the kind. It values fairness, equality, and sacrifice. People with slave morality follow rules set by others. They avoid conflict, seek approval, and wait for rewards from outside. They see life as a burden, to be endured, hoping that patience and goodness will eventually be rewarded. They value kindness, humility, and selflessness. They believe in helping others and putting others' needs before their own. Nietzsche argued that slave morality developed as a way for the weak to protect themselves from the strong. Instead of fighting back, they created a moral system that praised meekness and condemned power. This way, they could feel morally superior while staying safe. But Nietzsche saw this as a form of weakness and self-deception. He believed that it kept people trapped, waiting for a reward that might never come. Nietzsche was not saying that kindness or humility are bad. He was pointing out that slave morality often comes from fear and resentment. It can lead to bitterness and a sense of victimhood. It can make people passive and dependent, waiting for others to change their lives. Nietzsche believed that true strength comes from within, from the courage to live boldly and authentically. This doesn't mean everyone should become ruthless or selfish. Nietzsche's idea of master morality is about self-overcoming. It's about rising above fear, doubt, and weakness. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not by following others, but by leading your own life. It's about taking responsibility for your choices and creating your own meaning. In today's world, Nietzsche's ideas still challenge us. They make us question our values and beliefs. They force us to look at our own lives and ask, are we living by our own rules or by someone else's? Are we waiting for life to be fair, or are we making our own path? Are we strong enough to live boldly, or are we hiding behind excuses and fears? Nietzsche's philosophy is not easy to accept. It asks for courage and honesty. It challenges us to face the harsh reality and find our own way through it. But it also offers a path to true power and freedom, the power to live life fully and the freedom to be who we truly are. Ruthlessness is a powerful tool. In a competitive world, those who are ruthless often rise to the top. They don't hesitate, doubt, or worry about being fair. They act quickly and decisively, focusing only on winning. They are willing to do whatever it takes to succeed, even if it means breaking rules or hurting others. This doesn't mean they are evil, but they don't let emotions or morals get in their way. They see life as a battle, and they fight to win. Ruthless people are not concerned about being liked. They don't seek approval or worry about others' opinions. This frees them from fear and doubt, giving them the confidence to take bold actions. They know that to get ahead, they must be willing to take risks and make tough choices. They don't wait for permission or worry about fairness. They see an opportunity, and they take it before someone else does. This approach works because the world often rewards boldness and confidence. In business, politics, and even personal relationships, those who take charge and act decisively usually get what they want. Ruthless people know how to play the game of power. They understand human nature and use it to their advantage. They manipulate, persuade, and control situations to benefit themselves. They are strategic, always thinking several steps ahead. But being ruthless comes with a cost. To win, they often sacrifice relationships, trust, and loyalty. They make enemies along the way, and people may fear or hate them. This can lead to isolation and loneliness. They may have power and success, but they lack genuine connections and emotional support. Their victories can feel hollow because they are always on guard, never fully trusting anyone. Moreover, power built on ruthlessness is often unstable. When people rise to power by crushing others, they create resentment and enemies. These enemies wait for the right moment to strike back. History shows many examples of ruthless leaders who were eventually overthrown by those they oppressed. Power gained through fear and cruelty rarely lasts because it creates a cycle of revenge and rebellion. Another problem is that ruthlessness can lead to a loss of humanity. When people focus only on winning, they can become numb to empathy and compassion. They start seeing others as tools or obstacles, not as human beings with feelings and rights. This dehumanization can lead to cruelty and injustice. It can also damage the ruthless person's own soul, leaving them empty and disconnected. However, not all ruthless people are monsters. Some of them are simply pragmatic and realistic. They understand the harsh realities of life and adapt to them. They are not necessarily cruel, they just refuse to be weak or naive. They protect themselves by staying strong and decisive. They don't let emotions cloud their judgment, and they are willing to make sacrifices for the bigger picture. In some cases, ruthlessness is necessary. When survival is at stake, kindness and hesitation can be dangerous. In competitive industries, only the strongest survive. In war or politics, tough decisions are needed to protect one's people or interests. Leaders sometimes have to be ruthless to maintain order and stability, but this should be a tool, not a way of life. There is a difference between being strong and being cruel. The key is to find a balance. It is possible to be bold and decisive without losing compassion. You can be strategic without being manipulative. You can fight for what you want without destroying others. True power comes from strength and wisdom, not just from ruthlessness. It's about knowing when to be firm and when to be kind, when to fight and when to forgive. The role of ruthlessness depends on how you use it. It can help you achieve great things, but it can also cost you your humanity. It can bring you power, but it can also bring you loneliness and enemies. The choice is yours. Just remember that winning at any cost often means losing what truly matters. From a young age, we are taught that the world is fair. We hear stories where good people are rewarded and bad people are punished. We learn that honesty, hard work, and kindness lead to success, while lies and cruelty bring failure. This gives us hope and makes us feel safe. It makes us believe that if we do the right thing, good things will happen to us. But reality is different. The world is not always fair. Good people don't always win, and bad people don't always lose. Honest workers get overlooked while liars get promoted. Kind hearts get broken while selfish people succeed. Hard work doesn't always pay off, and justice is often delayed or denied. This is a harsh truth, but it is the truth nonetheless. The belief in fairness is comforting, but it is also an illusion. It makes us passive and dependent, waiting for rewards that may never come. It makes us think that life owes us something just because we are good, but life owes us nothing. The universe doesn't follow human morals or rules. It operates by its own laws, where power, luck, and timing matter more than fairness or justice. This illusion of fairness keeps people trapped. It makes them wait for recognition, promotion, or justice instead of taking action. It makes them believe that suffering and sacrifice will eventually be rewarded, even when there is no sign of change. This leads to disappointment, frustration, and bitterness. It makes people feel like victims of a cruel world. The truth is, success is not always about hard work or honesty. It's about knowing how to play the game of power. It's about strategy, timing, and influence. It's about building alliances, managing perceptions, and seizing opportunities. Those who understand this rise to the top, while those who wait for fairness are left behind. This doesn't mean that fairness is useless or that we should abandon morality. It means we need to see the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. We need to accept that life is not fair and learn to navigate its complexities. We need to stop waiting for justice and start creating our own opportunities. We need to be proactive, not passive. Accepting the harsh reality doesn't mean becoming ruthless or dishonest. It means being realistic and strategic. It means protecting yourself from manipulation and unfairness. It means fighting for what you deserve instead of waiting for it to be given. It means taking responsibility for your own success and happiness. The illusion of fairness is comforting, but it is also dangerous. It keeps you waiting when you should be acting. It makes you passive when you should be bold. It gives you false hope and leaves you unprepared for the harshness of life. To succeed, you must break free from this illusion. You must face reality with courage and clarity. This doesn't mean giving up on justice or kindness. It means being wise and strategic in a world that is not always fair. It means being strong enough to survive and compassionate enough to stay human. It means playing the game of power with skill and integrity. The world is not fair, but you can still find your own way to succeed with dignity and strength. Friedrich Nietzsche introduced the idea of the Übermensch, also known as the Overman or Superman. This is not a superhero, but a person who rises above ordinary human limits. The Übermensch creates their own values and lives by them, free from society's rules and expectations. They are strong, independent, and fearless. They don't look to others for approval or follow the crowd. They are leaders of their own lives. The Übermensch is not ruthless just for the sake of being cruel. They are not bullies or tyrants. Instead, they strive for self-mastery and greatness. They want to become the best version of themselves, not by crushing others, but by overcoming their own weaknesses. They face challenges with courage and see struggles as opportunities to grow stronger. They are not victims of life's hardships, but warriors who fight their own battles and create their own destiny. Nietzsche believed that most people live by values given to them by society, religion, or tradition. They follow rules without questioning them and seek comfort in conformity. But the Übermensch dares to question everything. They break free from old beliefs and create their own path. They are not afraid of change or uncertainty. They embrace life fully, with all its joys and pains. They don't seek happiness and comfort, but in achievement and self-overcoming. To Nietzsche, the Übermensch is a creator, an artist of life. They don't just live, they shape their existence with purpose and passion. They are driven by a deep inner vision and refuse to settle for mediocrity. They don't wait for meaning or value to be given to them. They create their own meaning and live by it with confidence and strength. They are not slaves to circumstances or fate. They are masters of their own will. This path requires great courage. It means standing alone and facing criticism, misunderstanding, and rejection. It means risking failure and suffering. But the Übermensch is not afraid of pain or loneliness. They see these struggles as necessary steps toward greatness. They don't complain or blame others. They take full responsibility for their choices and actions. They are free because they rely only on themselves. The Übermensch doesn't seek power over others, but power over themselves. They don't dominate or control people. They master their own fears, desires, and weaknesses. They are disciplined and focused, able to resist temptations and distractions. This inner strength gives them true freedom. They are not slaves to emotions, habits, or social pressures. They live by their own rules and values, not by what others expect. Nietzsche admired historical figures like Julius Caesar and Napoleon because they shaped history with their willpower and vision. But the Übermensch is not just a political leader or conqueror. They can be artists, philosophers, or anyone who lives creatively and boldly. What matters is not their role, but their spirit, their courage to live authentically and powerfully. In today's world, the idea of the Übermensch challenges us to rise above mediocrity and conformity. It asks us to question our beliefs and create our own purpose. It encourages us to be strong, independent, and creative. It invites us to live fully and passionately, without fear or regret. But this path is not for everyone. It requires a strong will and a brave heart. It demands self-discipline, courage, and vision. It is a lonely road because it means standing apart from the crowd and thinking for yourself. But for those who dare to walk it, it offers the highest reward, the freedom to live as a creator of one's own destiny. How can we succeed in a competitive world without losing our values? How can we gain power without becoming ruthless or cruel? This is a difficult question, but the answer lies in finding balance. It means understanding power and using it wisely, without sacrificing integrity or compassion. Power itself is not evil, it's a tool. When used with wisdom and responsibility, it can help us achieve greatness while staying true to our principles. The first step is to accept that the world isn't always fair. Life doesn't reward good intentions or hard work automatically. People don't always get what they deserve. This can be disappointing, but it's the truth. If we cling to the illusion of fairness, we become passive and frustrated, waiting for justice that may never come. Instead, we must face reality with courage and clarity. We must stop waiting and start acting. This doesn't mean giving up on morality. It means being strategic. It means learning the rules of the game and playing smart. It means understanding how power works, how people are influenced, how decisions are made, and how opportunities are seized. It means being aware of manipulation and protecting ourselves from it. It means thinking several steps ahead and planning our moves carefully. To succeed, we must build strength and confidence. Power belongs to those who dare to take risks and make bold choices. This requires courage and self-belief. It means facing our fears and doubts and pushing through them. It means being decisive and assertive, even when it's uncomfortable. It means standing up for ourselves and not letting others control or exploit us. But strength is not just about being tough. It's also about resilience, the ability to get back up after failure. Everyone faces setbacks, but the strong learn from them and keep moving forward. They don't give up or play the victim. They grow through struggle and become wiser and stronger. This inner strength is the foundation of true power. The key to balancing power and morality is to create value and lead with integrity. Power gained through lies, cruelty, or manipulation is unstable. It creates enemies and distrust. But power earned by creating value lasts because it is built on respect and trust. When we contribute positively to others' lives, through our work, ideas, or leadership, we gain influence naturally. People follow those who inspire them and help them grow. Integrity is the anchor that keeps power from corrupting us. It means staying true to our values even when it's hard. It means being honest and fair, even when no one is watching. It means treating people with respect, not as tools to be used. Integrity builds trust and credibility, which are essential for long-term success. We must also learn to use power responsibly. Power is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. When used wisely, it can create positive change, protect the vulnerable, and inspire growth. But when misused, it can destroy lives and communities. This is why power requires wisdom, empathy, and self-control. We must be mindful of our influence and use it to uplift, not to oppress. Balancing power and morality is not easy. It requires constant self-awareness and reflection. It demands courage to make tough choices and humility to learn from mistakes. But it is possible. We can be strong without being ruthless, bold without being cruel, and powerful without losing our humanity. The world is not fair and power is necessary to succeed. But how we use that power defines who we are. By mastering ourselves and leading with integrity, we can achieve greatness without sacrificing our values. We can play the game of power skillfully and honorably. And in doing so, we can become not just winners, but leaders worth admiring.